to MOHWA USA Inc. podcast.
Starting MOHWA in the US was really very challenging.
It's really interesting. Actually, when I sit here and think of that day, I tremble a little.
Before we started, we committed ourselves and what we were about to do in the hands of God. Just wondering, what were we to do? But we were determined. We were
we all agreed, oh, it's a good thing we're going to start it. How were we going to start it? What were we to do? We didn't know. But eventually, we found a way, because it is said, where there is a will, there is a way.
Bechoko.
MOHWA.
Kume.
MOHWA.
Jolly.
MOHWA.
MOHWA.
Welcome to MOHWA USA Inc. podcast. My name is Bisong Tambe Agbo. This is M.O.P, the heartbeat of our Manyu community. Get ready for an electrifying journey where we celebrate, share, challenge, entertain, and educate each other. It's not just a podcast, it's a space to amplify our voices and spark brilliant ideas. Let's dive in together and make every episode a celebration for us. I'd now like to introduce my co-host, my Mirabelle Tambe. My Mirabelle?
I am Ma Mirabelle Tambe. Thank you guys so much and welcome to this episode. Oh my goodness. Today we are having story time with our founding mothers in honor of International Women's Day. So I'm going to introduce our founding mothers and I'm going to each say a word about themselves, and then we're going to start our story time. So please stay tuned. So our first founding mother that we're going to give her an audience to introduce herself is Mama Yembe. Mama Yembe, please take the stage.
Bechoko.
MOHWA.
Kume.
MOHWA.
Ujoli.
MOHWA.
My name is Faustina Yembe. I am a widow and a mother of 3 living children. I was back home in Cameroon an English teacher par excellence. I say par excellence because I had multiple duties. I taught my main teaching was in secondary school, but I also taught in institutions of higher learning, like ENAM, Polytechnique, École Normale Yaoundé, and École Normale Bambili when I was there.
Wow.
The major seminary in Bambui. But my first school in 1967 was actually Sasa College. I also wrote several books. I am a writer and author of international standards. My first book, Effective English, got into the internet as far back as 1993.
I did not know that. Thank you, Mommy.
And there was a time that my book, Effective English, was the book used in Cameroon in all the schools, French-speaking and English-speaking provinces. Effective English in the Northwest and Southwest, Forms 1 to Form 5, and in the Francophone areas, for class de seconde, class de première, and class de terminale. I was also the assessor for GCE, O-level English language, from 1977 to 2006. Assessor means the highest officer in the GCE, run by the Cameroon GCE board.
That's amazing.
So I'm now retired and in the US.
Ooh, mommy, you have served well.
I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, mommy. That's a very extensive resume. Thank you so much.
Mommy is retired but
Okay.
not tired.
Yes, indeed, of course. So our next founding mother that we're going to have her introduce herself is Mama Sarah Song Adelewu. Mommy, take the stage. Oh.
Bechoko.
MOHWA.
Oh, wow.
My name is Masera Bisong Adelowo from Hussein, married to Yoruba. I have 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl who happens to be one of our MOHWA women. I'm trying to encourage. I actually taught in uh, Nigeria for 10 years, my early years, and then came back to Cameroon and opened the first Anglophone restaurant in Edea
Wow.
and was there for 20 years, bringing up my children, helping with running some other um, organizational activities with a worldwide association called Emissions of Divine Light as a Congress rep for West Africa. And then I came back to my own division, Boya, which is the capital of our province, where I stayed for 8 years,
Yes.
still running the business in Boya. And I used to be the president of MOHWA Edea for that long that I stayed in Edea, ran the Southwest Women's Association for about 10 years, and just came back decided to come to the US to stay with my husband and my kids to help my grandkids grow up as I did when my parents grew me up. So that's me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, mommy. Wow. Man, this is really a great honor for International Women's Day.
I know.
I need to add more stuff on my resume. All right, we're gonna go to, oh my gosh, Mama Beta Eta. Ma, please, you take the stage and introduce yourself. Thank you so much.
Ekome.
MOHWA.
I feel so honored. My name is Betha Eno Eta. I was just a simple civil servant that worked in the Ministry of Agriculture in the Department of Community Development. I did most of my work with the rural people, with the rural mommy them, and that's where we interacted much. I am a mother of 4, 3 young men and 1 young woman. I'm a mother of 9 grandkids, 6 grandsons, and 3 granddaughters.
Oh, wow.
Back home, I am also popularly known as Mami Eta Plaza.
Ma Eta Plaza.
Because in addition to my civil service work, we also had a small business place called Eta Plaza in Manfi
Wow.
that many people know about. As a social worker, actually, I belong to many groups, the Glee Club group in Manfi town, the CWA, and of course, when MOHWA came, I was the first president, the pioneer president in Manfi.
Wow.
I left Cameroon 2008 and joined my children here in the USA. And I've been here in Houston since then, shuttling between Houston, Chicago, West Virginia, where my other children are. But I am really based here in Houston, Texas. And that is me. We are here for storytelling for MOHWA USA Inc. Thank you.
Thank you,
You
Mom.
are welcome, Mommy. Thank you. Thank all of you guys. Wow, it's an honor for me actually to be in all of your midst. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm going to add a few more things on my resume so that, I too can be like, I did this and I did that and I did this. And one of them is going to be, I was the podcast host when we had Storytime with the Talking Mother.
That's a good one.
The resumes are long today
Yes,
for our guests. The resumes are long.
God bless you all, Mommy, because you are. I mean, my biggest dream was to have my mother here when I'm having my children. So you guys are here, and I know you are very much appreciated. So thank you for all you have done and all you continue to do. I know Mabi has some questions, so Mabi, go ahead.
Do, and I'm very interested as one of the younger members of MOHWA USA Inc. I have come with my questions that I think I need answers to, and I think our guests that are listening also would like to know. So let's start with the past of MOHWA. My first question is for those listeners who have not heard of the word MOHWA. What does MOHWA mean? I'll start with you, Mami Berta. What does MOHWA mean for those who don't know?
Oh, thank you, Ma Bisong. MOHWA simply means my child in Kenya. My child, MOHWA. But in our context here, it is an acronym that's put together for the Association of Manyu Women. It represents Manyu Women's Association, MOHWA. And MOHWA is an association that has all the Manyu women brought together.
Thank you, Mami Bertha. Thank you. Mami Sarah, would you like to add to that?
I think she has said what MOHWA is means, and just like she said, it actually started in Cameroon when a couple of women decided that they wanted to form a network of all Manyu women and gave that name. And then after that, they had people, different groups, more groups, Manyu women's groups come under that. And that's when the two main groups that were already in existence, Mawa, Indwala, and Boya, came under that umbrella called MOHWA. And that was in 1999 that MOHWA officially started in Cameroon.
Thanks for providing that context, Mami. Thank you. To know where it started in Cameroon in the 90s. Now, my next question, I want to know how it was started in the US. Mami Yembe, can you give us an idea of how it was formed, how MOHWA USA Inc. was formed in the United States?
Okay. In the United States, we call it, of course, MOHWA USA Inc.
Okay.
It was formed, the seed of it was during my family event in May 2018 in Houston. That was the first time that we sang the MOHWA anthem, just a few of us who were there. And incidentally, my daughter, my last daughter, was at that time already a MOHWA Bamenda member. Two of us were MOHWA Bamenda. So it was formed by these mainly 4 women, 3 of us here, and one of our friends who is not here with us anymore. So we were, starting MOHWA in the US was really kind of very challenging because, we've told you that most of our life, our active life was in Cameroon. We were determined. So very soon we got 14 of us together, 14 women.
Wow.
And then we then formed an interim executive with myself as the interim president. And then by 31st December, we had really got quite a number of women registered in MOHWA. So we can say that we really started it. My family event was in May, and then we started calling all over anybody whom we knew, and we asked friends to make phone calls. So the first conference call, we didn't have Zooms then. The first conference call was like July. And in July, we were then these 14 women who formed the interim executive. So that's how MOHWA started in the US.
I would like to interject because I know you said most of your lives were in Cameroon, and then now you are in the US, and you didn't know how you were going to do this, but you were determined. You wanted to start this MOHWA group, this group of women born in Manyu or married to a Manyu man. So my question is, yeah, you're right. You just came to the US. Most of you guys were visiting your children, right? You've spent most of your life in Cameroon. And I'm here thinking, how in the world did you guys think you were going to bring now almost 700 women? What was the purpose? What did you guys have in mind? What was your drive? In a shorter word, what were you thinking? How were you going to do this? And what was the whole purpose of it? That's what I want to know. And I'm going to let all 3 of you answer because I want to know.
You really want to know?
Yes, ma. Yes.
Okay. It's really interesting. Actually, when I sit here and think of that day, I tremble a little because at the time we were studying, if we knew the magnitude of what was ahead of us, I'm sure we would have been scared. I would not have.
Thank God.
It. But it looks like it was just the Holy Spirit that was pushing us, inspiring us. We didn't even know what to do. We didn't even know how to start. But like Mami said, we just agreed, it would be a good thing to start MOHWA here in the USA, because all 4 of us who were there on that day had been members back home in Cameroon.
Oh, wow.
And we know what we enjoyed when we were back home as members of this great association. And I think that was the push. That was the push that led us to say, it will be a good thing. To be honest with you, all the 4 of us, like she said, we are here on our children's tickets, not that we are here on our own. We didn't have any permanent addresses. We didn't have anything.
Wow.
Here we were. We all agreed, it's a good thing we're going to start it. How were we going to start it? What were we to do? We didn't know. But eventually, we found a way, because it is said, where there is a will, there is a
There's a
way.
There's
way.
a
That's
We
way.
right.
found a way, and we created the first link, a WhatsApp link. And the
Wow.
day
Okay.
I remember it was a Sunday morning, because this link was created like Saturday evening, and it was like a wake up call on Sunday morning. And all the four of us were excited when we saw this link, and we just
Wow.
started calling people, talking to our friends, talking to our family members, and talking to everybody. We didn't know how it was going to start, but God showed us a way, and we picked up from there. And here we are today.
Wow. Oh,
Mama,
Mami Bisong, it looked like you have something to say. Ma Adelewo, you can go ahead, please.
I I uh, I think what my sisters have said is just what happened. But one of the things I want to say is that we actually were, before we started, we committed ourselves and what we were about to do in the hands of God, and we prayed over it,
Amen.
and we decided to each support one another,
yes.
share thoughts together, and we actually started building like a real deep um, space of love within the four of us, and it was from there that we could take off and do what we started doing. And like Mommy Berta has just said, it wasn't easy,
Mhm.
but I think we had courage. We had courage because we we man women, we can do anything when we are
Yes,
determined to do it.
indeed.
So we just knew that we're going to come out and do something, and this happened. So
Yes.
that was what happened. And I know we call a lot of women to come step in and help us. And so we're like, we are not sure of that thing you guys want to do. But we kept doing, we kept it on. And I'm happy today everybody has seen that it was useful for us to be together. So thank you.
Yes. A solid foundation is so, so important. I've had one of my friends ask me, are all of you in MOHWA Christians? And I said, because we always start our meeting with prayer. So now I know why the founding mothers did the same thing. They started
Yes.
with prayer. So, yeah, thank you for that. That's a pretty good revelation
It
to
was
me.
definitely that courage, that determination, that jump started the foundation, that initiated what we have today as MOHWA USA Inc. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, mommies. The
You're
four of you
welcome.
all who initially started that foundation for us.
I want to know. Of course I have so many things I want to know, and I'm sure our listeners also want to know because it's been a couple of years. You guys said 2018, now we're in 2024. But
Yeah.
before that, I gotta tell you my experience with MOWA because I never heard of MOWA, I think, until maybe 2019 or 2020. And I was like, what? What is that? I mean, I know what MOWA means, my child. But I remember we lost an auntie in the community, and there was a die house, and I went to pay my respect at a die house. And then I walked into this big hall, and I saw like what seemed to me like 300 women, all in the
Mm.
same uniform. And I call myself a civilized village girl. And
Mm.
I said, who are these women? And why am I not a part of them? That's when I really walked in and I said, I have got to join this group because it
Hey.
it did something in me. It was like, my women were proud anyway, but it kind of made me grow like a few more inches. I had that much pride in me. So my question is, it's been going on for a couple of years. A lot more women have joined in. And yeah, the more women you have, the harder it is to manage. But you
Mhm.
guys seemed like You're pretty happy that you made the right decision to start the association. So, have you checked the pulse? How is it going? Does it still have the values you wanted to bring? Maybe passing it down to our children. My daughter is 17. It's a given. She's going to be MOHWA. Doesn't matter who she married or whatever she's going to be. So, how are the goals you had at the beginning? How is it? What are you feeling right now? Any changes you want to make, or I just want to kind of get a feel from you guys. What is your take on how it's going? How are we doing?
MOHWA is doing excellently. Is doing so well. Presently, as I told you, when we started MOHWA, by December 2018, there were 102 women. And those are the founding members of MOHWA USA Inc. Those who registered from that July 2018 to December 2018, they are the founding members of MOHWA USA Inc. If in the launching magazine that August 31st, 2019, the list of MOHWA members there, you notice some of them have asterisks against the names. Mm-hmm. Those are the founding members of MOHWA USA.
I remember that. Yeah.
By the time we launched, of course, maybe I'm really going off track, but by the time, I think it's important to know. By the time we launched MOHWA, end of August 2019, there were about 300 women fully registered.
Yes.
Wow.
And so the figure now, as of December 31st, 2023, is 657 women.
Ooh! And counting.
December 2023, because you know that registration and re-registration is January to March. So right now is at the end of March that we know the current figure. That's why I say by 31st December 2023, the fully registered members of MOHWA USA Inc. was 657. Now, what were we thinking? You can say, well, what were our mission and vision? Very simply, we wanted to create a forum where the women would be exposed to our culture. And also the women would live in strong sisterhood love, where they'll be happy. Back home, like in Cameroon, over every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, women have their meetings, all type of meetings. And that really, when we're back home, we did not know that was really a big bonus for us. Because women, especially here in America, I don't even know how you breathe. There's the work in the family, the children, your husbands, family, and then you go to work. Some work 8 hours. That one seems, I don't even know, 16 hours
or 12.
And then you go to school. So when we created MOHWA USA Inc., it was that occasionally, when there's an occasion organized in the branch, the women would also be released of some of that stress. Just go there, enjoy themselves with their friends.
Right.
And those few hours, you really be just enjoy, relaxed, no stress, no tension. So that's why we really said, okay, let us really make this effort. So that's what we thought.
I like it. Thank you, Mommy. My better. What you
Yeah,
wanna add?
thank you. Just to add a little to what Mama has said, if you ask my opinion, I would say that yes, our goals were really realizing them, because the idea was to offer an environment or an association where we can also help our young growing ladies here who did not have the opportunity that we had growing back home, be introduced to our culture and to our traditions, that we are doing it here now.
Mhm.
You can find our young women dancing morning kim.
Yes.
We had an occasion last Saturday, and the little girl who displayed there, I mean, you would just love to. I sat back and I was happy to see
Yeah.
that that is taking place.
That's great.
Yes, more.
That is amazing.
Many of our young ladies did not know how to tie two wrapper, which is our traditional dress.
We're still learning. Oh.
We insisted on having it two wrapper. Some of them thought they could sew skirts. We discouraged that. We've given them a chance. We've given them a place where they can learn how to tie their two wrapper, because they see us tie them and we show them how to tie it. Those are some of the things that we are happy we are realizing. We're hoping in our branches to also to introduce mostly our traditional dishes.
Yes.
Nkube to, beremenga,
Lekero.
Yes.
nekero, all those dishes, and sibebok. When we go home, we make
Yes.
sure we come with a lot of jansa and a lot of keru, so that we show our young girls who are growing here who do not have that opportunity. So those are some of the aspects, and we see them really growing. We are happy to sit back and see these things being done.
Yes. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Mommy. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I'll give my story on how I joined MOHWA.
Yeah.
I was introduced to MOHWA by my aunt. She came to me one day and she said, "You must to join MOHWA." This was in 2019. And I was like, "What is MOHWA?" And yes, and she explained what MOHWA was. And apparently one of my aunts in Cameroon was also a MOHWA member. And she said, "You must to join this organization." And so for me, joining MOHWA was exactly what Mommy Bertha just said, was for me to get more in tune with my culture. Because as a Manyu child that was born in America, it was very important for me to get back to my roots and to learn things that I had never learned, and to learn the origins of things such as the monikim and the foods and just the culture. Even my daughter is actually a MOHWA youth. She's in the MOHWA youth group. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
So that leads me into the next question of what are the current projects that MOHWA USA Inc. currently has going on. What current projects, along with the MOHWA youth group, are we also, spearheading, so our listeners know that what additional things we do? Mommy Sarah, would you like to give some insight on some projects that we have currently going on?
About the youth wing, this is a project that we are really excited, because like we said, if we are no more here, we still need continuation, and those are the people who will carry it forward. And when this youth wing was launched, I think that was the greatest, one of our achievements, greatest satisfaction to see this happen. And I think so far, we're trying to encourage women to step up and help them, help direct them, coach them, be like their mentors so that they can learn it easier than we did when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And and then other thing is, we had been looking for, we were longing during that time, during the time we were trying to form this, to see how we could get some crumbs from the US, from our ladies here, beautiful ladies here, to send back home. And it turned out that we didn't just look for food. We having water. They gave us water now. We some of our small clinics that used to get their medications wasted now can have some solar panels where they can store their medications and help the people. And there are a lot of things that we see that are happening now, and we just hope that we continue doing what we are doing together and encouraging women to just step forward and do some of this work that we have started. I remember, I just want to share a story with when when I talked to my little sister in Osing, and she said, "Oh, you guys have given water in Manfe, in trying to name the places, but we were not continuing to have." I said, "No, you go to Manfe most of the time. You spend time in
Yeah.
Manfe. You drink water there, and I'm sure
Yes.
that give us more time. We're going to make sure every village has what the
Indeed.
other villages have, but it takes everybody to be on board, to be together, agreement, so that we can continue men back home and helping the girl child, not just back home, right here, because we do a lot of work calling
Amen.
people, calling women. Joining MOHWA, come. You will enjoy the place. Come. And when we see one person join, we say, hooray, you are in the right
Yeah.
place. It's very, very encouraging when these things are happening the way we are seeing them happen. And we just want to thank God and to thank you all, the sharp young girls who are really pushing it, and it's happening.
Thank you, Ma. My Yembe, would you like to add anything to the projects
Project.
that we're working on? Yes, Ma.
Yes, we really one of the main goals, of course, of MOA is to improve on the situation back in Manyu for the whole population and especially for the women and the girl child.
Mhm.
So for the projects, we really had the first project that MOA USA Inc. took part in was when a dormitory was burnt in QRC Okoyo,
Mhm.
the night of 10th February, breaking 11th February 2022. We immediately sent uh, our own donation there through the president, the national president of United OPSA USA. That was in February. I mean, it was really, we did that kind of spontaneously. Then, shortly after that, the same year, in October 2022, all of us know the disaster in the Manfred Hospital there. Manfred
Yes.
Yeah.
Hospital, the beautiful modern structure was razed down to ashes. And MOWA again stepped in, and we donated medical equipment to the Manfred District Office Hospital. what I think they call it now, preventive hospital. But that was the hospital we knew when we were growing up before they built the big one on Besonobang Road. So those were two big projects, especially the one of the hospital. The medical equipment really cost us quite a lot of money. So the current projects, as my sister mentioned, has to do with boreholes for water. Really, we call it Manyu and Erongo. And we are carrying out the projects in the 4 subdivisions in Manyu: Mafe Central, Upper Bayang, Mojo, and Akwaya. So our project committee has, of course, to work hand in hand with the mayors and so on in Manyu. And it's they who determine what their people need. Some of the subdivisions would say, okay, we need a borehole. And some will say we need solar panels for a health center, or some want both. But whatever it is, we have tried to make an equal sum of money go to the 4 subdivisions. So no subdivision will feel that they were kind of deprived. So that is the current project, giving boreholes for water and solar panels for light. Of course, the boreholes, we build the wall, we put mechanical pumps for the water so that it makes it easy. So that is a very, very big project that is ongoing, but it is almost at an end.
That's amazing.
I think by the end of March or April, that will be done in all the 4 subdivisions. That is really
that is
a huge effort.
Yes.
That is huge.
Just to add a little too,
yes, my better.
in addition to the national projects, some branches too have carried out projects.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah.
Individual branches that have carried out projects. I know Dallas, they donated to the hospital. I know DMV that went out there and reached out with sanitation equipment, materials to help the girls, and some people's scholarships. So in addition to what the national body is doing, branches to take up some other small projects to help the people back home. That's just what I would add to.
Thank you, Manyu.
Sorry, let me just add that New England too. New England.
Yes, very true, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Projects as a branch.
Yeah.
No project is small, whether it's national or our branches. And that brings a good point, because for people that are listening now, if they feel it in their hearts that they want to help MOHWA USA with our projects, or they want to do something, how can they help? Can you all, anyone? How can someone that is not a MOHWA USA Inc. member help?
Well, let me start with how have these projects been funded? How? Before we even come to saying any other person can help us.
Good point, Mom.
The funding of these projects has been done by our sponsors and our patrons, both national and at branch level, because we have patrons national and patrons branch. Then, in addition to that, we do fundraising, especially during our conventions. We have fundraising. and we get money. And then more women themselves, we have raised funds. You know that we had last year or so, we tried to raise funds individually.
Yes, I ran 3.5 miles to raise funds. So thank you. I did.
So
It was great.
So we have individuals raising funds and also branches. We have seen that branches, like during conventions, branches come out and they donate. Like Dallas, I donate so much. This is I donate so much. So that's where we have been getting funds. And how come that we are really, anytime we want to raise funds, we succeed? We succeed in raising funds because what we raise the funds for, we use the money just for that. For example, when we say we are carrying projects in Manyu, we have the projects committee. They are so transparent. They have the receipts. They have just everything to show that they are using the funds for the proper purposes, for what they are meant for. So any other person outside MOHWA who wants to help us, they should feel free to really help us, because we can assure them that their funds will be put to proper use. There's a lot of transparency, there's accountability. With every single dime that is raised for the projects goes to the projects.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you, Mami Yembe.
I was just going to say, talking about individual, I just remember how some of our children, we had to hold them really tight to bring out money, because until some of them were like, "Oh, mommy, you guys are not working. You these 3 founding mothers, you keep worrying us about money." I said, yes, because you know what we need for. And when they started seeing what was happening, because we showed them the magazines and say what we are doing, projects, they started knowing that it's really something that what contributing into. So I just think that as we continue letting them know what we are doing, like Mama has said, and the transparency aspect of it, many of them will be able to contribute towards whatever projects that we have to do. But we have to keep working, keep letting them, educating them, showing them by example. Sometimes some of them start following because they say, "Oh, every day more." It's all over the place. But now they know what it is all about, because we want to help. We want to be able to do projects for our people back home.
Right.
Yeah. I was saying the one thing I love about MOHWA is this empowering each other, supporting the Manyu woman. And I think it's a powerhouse, because when I look at all of us together, sometimes I'm like, do we really know how powerful we are? We have just about anything you can think about, any profession you can think about, skills, whatever, we have it in-house. And it's really, really it's humbling that we put it aside to uplift each other, and it starts with ourselves. Just like Mami Yembe was saying, even when we do fundraiser, we use the money for the purpose that we said we're raising funds for. But it starts with us also. We contribute ourselves. So we're not just encouraging and uplifting each other, but we think about the girl child back home. that's what really attracted me to MOHWA, because I grew up in the village, but I also came to the US very young. So I've been through a lot of meetings, and I followed my parents to Manyu meetings all over the place, and I know they're always project, and I'm a child of the community. I feel like I have so many mothers, fathers, aunties, and uncles, and it's something that I pride myself in. So at my age, I'm like, okay, what can I do to give back to my community? And I really feel like MOA has kind of given me that kind of a platform where it's not just about me and encouraging my sister, but it's me encouraging my sister, and then us looking to say who is back home that we can encourage as well, who is back home that we can uplift, how can we do that? So the project being done at national and at the local level, at the chapter level, is very, very encouraging. So I mean, thanks to our founding mothers, I just want to tell you guys that if you guys did not find MOA, I would have done it. So, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. So I can just carry on with it because you set the foundation. So thank you guys so much.
They set the foundation, my Mirabelle, and we can continue to lead that vision that they had.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for giving me a platform to actually build myself, help build my sister, and then look back to building the Manyu Girl Child, because someday I want to be sitting in your chair with a long resume and have my grandchild running the podcast. And another thing I really love about it is keeping it traditional, because some of us grew up in the village, but a lot of us grew up like how do you say it, on the road, right? So we didn't grow up
in America.
Yes. Some of us were born and bred in America, like Mabi, but like you say, you go to an occasion and you watch these children dance morning Kim, and you forget that they were born here. But that's because they were taught, right? And it starts, with the woman and in our home. So I'm very, very proud of that even though my daughter cannot speak Bayangi, she can at least understand when I'm talking to her. So we're work in progress. So thank you guys so much again. Yeah.
That's right, my Mirabelle. Now, mommies, I do have one question for you all. This month, as you know, is International Women's Month. And so I'd like to know from each of you, what are you most proud of with MOHWA? Give me one thing that you are most proud of. I'm sure you're proud of so many things within MOHWA USA Inc., but just give me one thing. Mommy Sarah, would you like to start?
Ooh, sisterhood love.
Sisterly love.
Sisterhood love. Strong sisterhood love.
All right.
You want me to talk more on that?
Yes, Bobby. Elaborate, please.
You know what it takes for me to go? You know what it takes for me to go to live here and go to Houston, and I can see somebody who would grab me on my hand and say, "Hey, sister, welcome," and hug me, take me to their home, or we chat and we laugh. It's more than anything. You know what it means for me? Like we just said, something happens to somebody and we can all call and say this. Oh yeah, I know the person. But is she MOHWA? Yeah, okay, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And you start running to the place to be with them. So that sisterhood love is one of the things that I am extremely proud of. Very, very proud of.
Amen.
Awesome.
And I think we just wanted one there, but this one for now.
Mommy Bertha.
Yes.
One thing you are most
when Sister Sarah talks about sisterhood and getting into a place. In those days, you get into a place, I don't think you know about one or two persons. But now we get into a place and you hear, oh, mommy is here, our founding mother is here. I mean, it just makes you grow taller.
Yeah.
Yes, mommy, you know it.
Like when
Yes.
I went to Ohio and they were doing their launching. I was not a stranger in Ohio at all because it was like our founding mother is with us. And
Oh,
I
yes.
felt so good. Even though I'm such a short woman, but I think I grew taller that night. Okay,
Yes, mommy.
and one other thing that we are so proud of, me personally, I'm so happy with our support system, which is the Ekeneku.
Mm.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Ekeneku in Ejagom is like Okeneku Orieku. Ekeneku is one of those achievements, one of those things that makes us really sit back to look at it. We are happy. At least we came together because it's such a strong support system. When it
Yeah.
happens, we cannot stop it happening. But when it happens, you see how everybody rallies around and the
Yeah.
support and the love, it's almost like it lifts off the burden
Yeah.
from the family because there's so many shoulders there. There are so many people there to help carry the burden, so it makes it lighter.
Yep.
So Ekineco is one of those things me I'm really really proud of.
And Ekeneku, for those that are not very clear, is the financial support we give to each other when we have a death in the family. So that's what Mami is referring to, because you, as some of you know, that some of our Mami and that are in the country may not be eligible for um, life
Insurance,
insurance,
So
yes.
stuff like that.
scary.
So when something happened where we have to take the body back home to our various villages or what have you, when they are MOHWA USA Inc. member, the Keneku comes in because it's not just the physical and emotional support, but that financial support is quite a big chunk. So that's what Mami is referring to, and very good point, Mami. Yeah, that's very, very helpful. Yeah, Mami Yembe.
Yes, what I'm proud of, we may have to go back to the goals. You see, when we created this forum or this association, it was so that the women should be exposed to our cultural heritage and our resources. And it was also where members would show commitment to the strategies and the priorities of MOHWA, and where members too would have the opportunity to uplift one another to deeper realization of the IT, the internet. We see some branches doing that. They're trying, you see, they say, okay, women, especially some above a certain age, not much IT, even to get onto Zoom, they cannot do that. So some branches are trying to foster the growth and development of women participating in the IT. And it was
Technology.
also one aspect that is current is that women would improve their physical and health physical wellness and health. I think, well, I know my daughter is very much in that, because it's important. And the main thing again is to provide access to our cultural heritage and allow ourselves in the future and our daughters to broaden our view of the world through values and beliefs and language and knowledge of life. So that one, we really see it happening, and that really gives us a lot of satisfaction. All of this cannot, I mean, some of it like trying to bring up the IT knowledge, the technological knowledge in especially women like us of above a certain age. And we know that MOHWA, I think the oldest mama in MOHWA may be something like 86 or 87 years.
Wow.
Fortunately, I'm not
90.
Yes, I'm just 81. I'm just 81. I'll be 82 in May. But the women, mamas with us, let's just say mamas with us who are 86, 87, going towards 90. And those women, you know, we really love them when they're with us. So we see that MOHWA is really, really doing a lot of things, and we're very, very proud of that. MOHWA USA INC. Well, my granddaughter taught me how to click.
We are all learning something in MOHWA, whether it be culture, technology, we are all learning.
Yeah, we just learned this evening how to put a background, right?
Right.
That's right. The backdrop. Yes. And
okay.
we're here having a Zoom meeting, and we're all from, I mean, we're here having a podcast, and we're all from different states. And, you know,
Yeah.
this was not possible before. You guys had WhatsApp. Now we have AI. So we have to keep up with that technology as well. Yeah. Maybe.
Can we just add one more thing to those things that we are proud of?
Yeah.
Yes,
Every day.
We are sitting here as the founding mothers. We are so happy with the formation of the youth wing, because it is said in country talk,
Yes. Okay, mommy.
so the
Thank you for
formation
that.
of the youth wing is one other big thing that gives us joy, because we know that there's going to be continuity.
That's right.
With these young ones learning from this time at their age. By the time they get even to the age of their mothers, not to talk of we, the grandmothers, we know we are very confident that big great things will be done by this our children. So the formation of the youth wing is one of those things we are really proud of. It is the first of its kind. MOHWA all over. I think MOHWA USA Inc. is the first to have a youth wing.
You're right, mommy.
MOHWA USA INC. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I will say I've been on some of the calls with MOHWA USA Inc. with the youth, with the girls, and they are excited. They are as excited as we are to be a part of the youth wing. They're planning their events. They're planning. They have a president, vice. They have an executive. They are absolutely listening to what we are saying. They're following. They're learning. So I'm also excited, like I said, because my daughter is a member of the youth wing, and I'm excited for her to learn culture as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do we have time for one more question, Mama Mirabelle?
I think we do. I don't know if our founding mother. Oh, it's been a pleasure. Did I tell you guys it's been a pleasure? It's been an absolute pleasure. So I was just going to say, if you guys ever think of giving an honorary founding member in the future, I mean, I'm just gonna throw names out there. Ma Mirabelle Tambe.
We'll think about it.
Yes, thank you so much. But I don't know if you guys have any final words or anything you like to leave our audience with.
I'm just itching to say that thank God in MOHWA USA Inc. there is no discrimination.
That's
We
right.
love our wives just as we love our sisters.
Mhm.
And we
Amen to
with
that.
the same love.
Yes.
I just want to use this opportunity to thank you, the younger generation, the younger ladies, for what you are doing. We might have conceived the idea, we might have spent all the sleepless nights trying to put it together, but the support we are having from you all makes us really feel very happy. We could have brought this idea, but I don't think we would have been able to carry it as far as it is going without your immediate commitment, dedication, and ready to serve. You are ready to serve at any time, and you bring up ideas. Look at us sitting here. The whole of yesterday and today we had been itching to get ready be able to be able to meet your expectations.
Mhm.
So it keeps us active too.
You
So
exceeded.
You
we
have
are really
exceeded, Ma.
happy. We are happy to have you guys. We know you have our backs. We brought the idea, but you're taking it
You
and
made
you're
it.
flying with it, and that makes us really happy. We, the mamas that sit home and we don't have the opportunity of doing many things, to tell you the truth, we went to Atlanta, and the idea was,
Convention.
oh, let's keep this thing going for a longer period. But only one mama stood up and put everything away, and we had a decision to make.
Yes.
Yes, it's the only opportunity for some of us, who stay home, to really come out and meet our sisters and really have fun. We don't have
Thank
many of those areas, but this this platform gives us that place to love each other, to have fun.
You
Thank you
all
for what you are doing.
you all definitely know how to have fun. I have seen it with my own eyes. Oh, and can I say, my Mirabelle, that the mommies are looking amazingly beautiful
Yeah.
tonight.
Yes.
They brought it.
Oh my
You all have
God.
brought it.
Yes.
In a space of just 6 years, has this success come about? You know, there's some conscious attempt for every MOHWA woman to regard MOHWA as MOHWA. As we said, my child. You know, we have not said Moese, which would mean our child. Because if it is Moese, maybe this mama, you know, the child, okay, maybe the child has eaten that way. Maybe if he has a fever, so it is MOHWA. And that is what we are really trying to really, yes, my own. So MOHWA USA Inc. is succeeding in making, we are trying to make every MOHWA woman really take MOHWA like her own baby. And we say that baby that, we have a song. Ome Monto Ye Kati, Moande, and so on. So we are consciously trying to do that. Secondly, these past 6 years have been so satisfactory because, as we have said, the sisterhood love is so strong. When we come together, it looks as if all the age barriers, whether you are old like me or young like Stephanie. Where's Stephanie? Oh, okay.
Young like me.
Yes, young like Bishop.
Yes.
Yes, like Mirabelle.
Disappears.
Yes.
Maybe.
And we
Yes.
really enjoy ourselves. The way we dance, we really, actually, whenever there's an occasion here, we dance better than we're dancing at home or how they dance at home.
Right.
It's spectacular. It's spectacular. So for us, the three of us sitting here, the past was satisfactory, the present is glorious, and the future is optimistic and hopeful.
Promising.
Amen.
Promising. Thank you.
And on that note, I
Mommy.
want to thank our guests, our founding mothers of MOHWA USA Inc. My Mirabelle.
Yes. I would still like to hear the MOHWA anthem, please. Yeah.
MOHWA anthem.
The MOHWA anthem.
Miss Sarah, over to you.
Over.
I'm not going to sing Ate. I'm going to say Achoko because we are sitting down now.
Okay. Bye.
About more yans me, a person yancy, no ya way, about more yans me, a person yancy, no ya way, ya chinon goramoa, Jona chinon goramoa, ya chinon goramoa, ya chinon
Bye.
goramoa, goramoa, Ngoremo wapu sense ya chichi ngoremo wae. Ngoremo wapu barabot. Ngoremo wapu sense. Ngoremo wapu bagabe ya chino ngoremo wa. Ajokona chino ngoremo wae. Asa now. Yes, I know answering. Achino ngoremo wae.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh, as we wrap up another fantastic episode of M.O.P, we're thrilled for the incredible journey with the stories with our founding mothers. Thank you to all our listeners. Thank you to our founding mothers for the vision, the encouragement. Thank you guys for the prayers. We really look forward to continuing to share with our audience about our culture, how we uplift each other in our sisterhood, and how we also uplift the girl child back home in our homeland, Manyu division. Again, thank you guys for being a part of this podcast. We look forward to another exciting episode next time. I bid you all a great night, and please come back and learn more again about the MOHWA woman. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, mothers.
Thank you, our mothers. That was awesome. Very educational.